have to truncate the likes table because everything has to work in sync with what we are going to add here. So I'm going to go back to operations, and right here I'm going to truncate the table. So everything is back to normal, and of course I'm going to, anyway, I don't need to change those these ones in the user because I can simply like, follow and unfollow. Actually, maybe I need to do that. So let me go to the users table, and there's a few likes there. So let's do the SQL one more time. Update users, set likes is equal to 0. Let me not put the where clause now. Yes, it's warning me. All right, very good. All right, so let's go back here and do one more thing. So we go to profile.php. Profile.php at the very bottom here. Let's duplicate this one again. So followers, we are going to put following so that we have that option, and then we're going to copy this part here as usual, paste, and put following as well. So let's leave some space over there. Good. And then let's go to our class, our folder, sorry, and the one that has followers, let's copy and paste and change its name at the very end to following. Oh, like that. And now we've opened it in the browser, so most of the things remain the same. The only difference here is going to be instead of followers, we're going to have following, just for the sake of keeping things following, like so. I'll leave this one as it is because these were supposed to be followings or something. Okay, so instead of using the post class, we are going to use the user class on this one because we'll add some new functions in the user class, and one of the functions we'll add is get following. Get following, and then instead of no followers found here, we're going to say this user isn't following anyone. Yeah, it can be anything there you can write, that will work just fine. So we have to create this get following function, but before that, let's create another function which actually creates the following. So this part is done. So let's go to post.php. This is where getLikes is. Okay, well, we need that, and we also need like post. So these two, getLikes and like post, we're going to get both of these and modify them up to there. So let me copy that, and let's go to user.php class. So let's go to the classes folder and user.php, and let's go to the very bottom and let's add some new functions down here, and there we go. So first of all, let's get the one get following. So let's add this one, get following. So most of the things will remain the same. That's why I simply copied these guys. Now, instead of selecting the likes column, we are going to select the following column we created from likes, which is fine because this is still the table likes. Okay. And down here where we're getting the results, we're supposed to use this column since that's the only column available now. So we're going to paste this one there. Now you can change these likes, that's up to you, so that it makes more sense, I guess. I can use following instead, so that in case you are error checking, it will make more sense than having likes there. Okay, so this is it for get following, and we are done at that point. So if I go to my and do that, it's going to say this user isn't following anyone, which is good. Okay, so now let's put this one here where we are saying follow. We're going to call it follow user. Okay, we'll leave most of the things the same, but we're going to change some key things here. So first of all, select likes. We want to change this to following because that's a column we're getting, but it's the same table, so we'll leave that there. Type content ID. Now instead of this ID, we are looking for where I have liked something, so we're going to use my ID to search for where I have followed something. So we'll change that to my ID, and then when we come back here, everything is fine. So let's imagine it didn't find anything, so let's go down here to where it didn't find anything. Right now the other person's ID is just simply ID, right? So those are the IDs where I'm getting to put in my following database, so that because I want to store who I have liked, so I'll use ID there. Okay, everything else remains the same. So insert into likes, type content ID. Yes. Now the content ID is my ID, so I'm going to come back here and copy my book ID. So I hope this is not too confusing, but here wherever we are adding content ID, it's my ID because that's what we'll be searching for when trying to verify this data. Now this incrementing part goes out, we don't need it. Okay, so just there, likes. Okay, so the column we're inserting is not likes, it's following. So I'm going to Ctrl D and say following, like so. And of course I will change this to following as well because that's the variable. Okay, so everything here is fine. So let's come up here. Of course the increment part goes out, no incrementing required. And then same thing here, likes string, we will change that to so we are searching for the ID here, single ID. Let me do that. Okay, and then let me change this and set okay, so it's likes there. I'm going to leave some of these and just change what I need to change. Okay, so where ID here, we'll put mine. Content ID is mine. Update likes, set following, that's the column. Okay, all right, so far so good here. Let's come up here, increment out. No need to increment anything. So as usual, update likes, set likes should be following. Okay, and then here we are putting the other person's ID. Also here, because the column we are getting is following, so I'm going to change this to following. And we are almost done. So what else do we need to change? There, wherever you are replacing content ID, you put my own ID. All right, so this has done it. So just in case you missed something, here is the full function. I'm going to scroll down a little bit so that you see all the everything that you need to see here, in case you missed some code. And I'm going to go down here, and there we go. Hopefully I haven't missed anything and it's going to work. Now one more thing we need to do: when the person likes something, things go to the like.php, So in here, right here where it's telling the thing what to do, we're going to duplicate this line. Now if, for example, the type is user, then it's a following. Somebody has followed somebody, so we need the other thing to run also. Okay, so it's going to be user class, and then instead of like post, it's going to be follow user, like so. Everything else remains the same, and we need to simply create this user class. I'm going to duplicate this one and put the user class here and say new user. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is all we need to do. Okay, so let me follow myself. I'm going to follow myself. Okay, so there's it. But it's saying this user isn't following anyone, which doesn't seem true. So let's go to the likes table and see what we are doing here. So inside the following here, it didn't put anything, which is very strange. So let's go back here and see what did go wrong. So it's going to be in our user class, follow user. Alright, so it seems everything in this section is fine. So how I would test this is to see if I'll simply put the die here so that I know whether it's actually getting to this function. So let me come back here and click follow and unfollow. Okay, so since it hasn't died, it means it's not getting to this point, which is good news. It means it must be whatever is calling this part that isn't working, which is the like.php. So this part somehow isn't working. Oh, I see. So get type is in the get function. It's not a variable here. All right, so let me replace that with that. And I think we should be good now. Okay. Actually, I should have done that when I removed. So let me just take it back a little bit and put it at 0 so that we start from 0, and then paste it, come back here, and let's hit follow. Oh, there we go. So I'm following one person, following myself. So let me come back here to, let me follow somebody else. Mary, follow. So followers, that's me. Mary isn't following anyone. So if I come to myself, I am following me. It's not showing anything. Followers. Who I am following myself. It is supposed to show that. Oh, that's because it wasn't working when I actually followed myself. Or was it? Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's what's happening here. So to sort this problem out, let me truncate the data so that we start from 0. Truncate. Okay, and then I can go to my users table and put everything back to 0. Update users, set likes is equal to 0. Go. It's going to do that on all the. All right, very good. So let's refresh. There we go. So let me follow myself. So followers, there we go. Following, there we go. All right, so it's working very well. Let me go to Mary and follow her. Followers, there we go. Following, she isn't following anyone. So far so good. Everything is working fine. Let's see what the table has to offer. What's inside the table so that maybe we can understand the data beta. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Let me edit this one. Oh, something still doesn't seem right here. Alright, so let me go back to the code one more time. I'm going to my users.php follow user, and the oh, there we go. Okay, so on this line, not in array, we are supposed to search for the ID and not my ID. Right. Okay, so let's do one more testing. Let me truncate everything. I'm pretty sure this time it's going to work just fine. And then let me go to my users table and run the SQL once again. Okay, so update users set likes is equal to 0 and go. All right, so let's go back to my profile. So let me follow myself so that there's followers, me, and who am I following? Me. That's fine. So let's go back to another profile here and let me follow this one. So how many followers? 1. Who is she following? None. If I go back to my own page, followers, me, following, so now I'm following 2 people. Okay, so everything is working fine now. If we come back here, we're going to see that there are records in the likes table as dictated. All right, so I'll see you in the next video as we do something else for the about and settings. I'll see